Hello, everybody. This might be a bad stream. It is poison air outside here in Michigan, so I had to leave all my chickens inside. I just got two inside. Well, three. One's in the closet. There's a hamper where they have to lay their eggs in the hamper. So even if they're outside, they start running up to the door like I gotta lay an egg inside. But I'm trying to get this one to shut up. You can't go outside. It's poison. The Canadians are poisoning us. I don't know how to say Canadians are poisoning us in chicken speak. Bok 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 motherfucker. That's not how you say it. So come on, you guys. They just started yelling right when I was getting ready to say hit live. No, you gotta be quiet, all right? Go take a nap or poop an egg. I mean, they got food, so it's very distracting. Oh, get out of the room. Get out of the room. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about you. Okay, bye. Oh, I usually get them outside, 12 hours or so. They're outside all day. I bring them in at night because, I live in the township, but we have coyotes. We have hawks that are like at least 6 foot wide. And I'm not exaggerating because one did a dive bomb at my chicken Penelope. It was like the same color and feather pattern as Penelope, but like weaponized. So at first I didn't know what was going on. Like, how are you flying, chicken? Then I was like, wait a minute, what the heck? Those are claws. But it dove down across my driveway and then like spread its wings and like had its feet on my house sideways, and it was taller. Its wingspan was bigger than the window, a full house window. And then it kicked off the house and then flew away. And massive. Like when they're that close, it is scary. Like you kind of freeze a little bit. And so we got massive hawks, we got coyotes, we got, raccoons, of course. They're just little jerks. They kill for no reason. So they can't be out at night. They got two of my neighbors. The hawks got two. Well, a hawk got one of my neighbor's chickens, and a raccoon got another one. So it's just rough out there. And we got a pack of coyotes. Every time they get a kill, you could hear them just cackling in the woods. It's a demonic noise, man. It sounds bad, like scary evil. Because each coyote could make like two noises at once, so it's really weird. But that is not what we're talking about. What is today? We're talking about Friday. So on Friday, today, the 17th of July, we are waiting for the OCC to give us guidance on stablecoin yield so we can absorb all of the treasuries that are about to be inbound from China and, well, mainly Japan, but China and other countries selling off treasuries. The reverse carry trade is the only way we're going to be able to absorb all of them. Through the genius, you can tell right when I start trying to share something on my phone, I go brain dead. So I'm just sharing this really quick because it never lets me blah 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 blah. EVER North ORTH Evernorth. So we're gonna need a guidance on stablecoin yield due tomorrow, the 18th. All the regulatory agencies have to get it done by tomorrow. So I'm just asking questions like, they're going to do it today while the market's open and let it rip? They probably won't do it over the weekend. So are they going to do it, Monday and let the markets cook all weekend and kind of like let the uncertainty grow and kind of let the markets froth and stuff like that? I don't know. Are they just going to miss the deadline totally? The OCC just doesn't do the July 18th, uh, stablecoin yield guidance doesn't come out today. They don't come out Monday. What if they just, kind of let the uncertainty rule? And that would be a nice little crisis. They could, get this fog of war going, and now they're maneuvering with nobody seeing what they're doing. That's an option. I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, I hope they come out today, give us stablecoin yield guidance, and then we just, off to the races. And, just like in a good world, that would happen. But we're in a demonic fiat world. We're in the bad simulation. And so it's probably going to be chaos and destruction. That's the default. I hope not, though. Gotta believe. All right, welcome everyone. I wanted to touch a little bit. We're going to focus on Evernorth, of course, because that's my jam. But we're going to touch into hedera, HBAR, hedera hashgraph a little bit, because that thing is building some steam over there at HBAR. Their governing council. Let's just jump into HBAR really quick, and we'll stick to Evernorth, and we'll come back to HBAR later. I just want to, have you heard of any of these companies? These are the governing council. Oh, I'm hearing noises next door. Oh, they're reading the meters. So this is the governing council of hedera. Tell me if you've heard of any of these companies. Google, IBM, Dell, LG, Ubisoft, Accenture, Transparent. I haven't heard of them. Ooh, Enterprise AI, BitGo. And that's just the technology and software. Then you got financial services, all of these, Lloyd's Banking Group, Lloyd's of London. And then you got industrial. Have you heard of these? Any of these companies? Boeing, FedEx, Hitachi, Aero, Repsol. I haven't heard of those two. And here's what I'm really excited about. The consumer goods and services, McLaren Racing. That is the most expensive sport in the world, is McLaren. I mean, it takes hundreds of thousands of dollars for them to ship the car over to the race. Like, it's outrageous money in H1. Or is it H1? F1. Sorry, H1B visas. F1. So, like, that's a big group of people on the governing council of HBAR. If that tells you anything, like if it was Lord of the Rings and they're all sitting around the circle and HBAR is the ring, not that it's evil, it's just analogy. That's a lot of heavy hitters at the council. This is heavy. So I just wanted people to sit and think of that, like, there's something there. I mean, obviously, all the heavy hitters are checking out HBAR. But Evernorth. So for the two people that turned in yesterday, I checked again today. There was a lady on X 2 days ago now. She posted that, Evernorth released this new S-4 amendment number 4. And then she had a picture of it and, kind of scroll down. The ones where they have a blurry picture and then they highlight some of it like it's helping you out to read it, but it's so blurry you can't read it. That's a new thing on X to do. I don't get it. But So I went looking for it because that's what I do. Because it was released on the 14th, which is 3 days ago now. She did her post yesterday, and then, or 2 days ago, and then yesterday I was looking for it. All the S4s are gone. All of it's Armada Acquisition Core 2, which is XRPN, which will become Evernorth after the SPAC closes, after they de-SPAC and it goes effective. And so I looked up I did S/, and all it has is S1s. And you see my other videos, they had S4s. They all got pulled. So I did some AI work. I deleted it here because I didn't think I'd return to it. But because I'm new to all this, so I still have to ask a bunch of questions. And I want people to double check me on this because, I'm in the deep end now, and I don't know everything. So all the S4s are gone. So I was asking AI, and it said what they're probably doing, since it's the Fourth Amendment of the S4, they probably pulled all the S4, and they're saying the S4s are probably in archive. So I guess I should go to archive really quick. I don't know how to do that, but I'll do that in a minute. So they're probably pulling all the old S4s that were filed, and they're going to consolidate them down into an S4/A, which is the final draft. So if true, and I can't confirm it, nobody's like really helping me on it yet, but if true, that means the SEC is happy. That means they came to an agreement with Evernorth XRPN. That means the shareholders are about to get a little message of some kind that it's time to vote, and we might be going live soon. So that's, really important to me. And so I want some second opinions though. I'm definitely not the expert. I'm a newbie at this, man. I don't know. So I'm trying to figure it out. Hey, baby. All right, so that's the crux of it. Ascension number, file number. That's the horcrux of it. There are no S4s listed that I can find. I need somebody that knows more than me. Maybe I'm just messing up this entire search and blah blah blah. But annual quarter reports. Let's do all. Yeah, still no S4s. And it is Armada Acquisition Core 2, because there is number 3, but that's not what I want. And I want to look up archives. How do I go to our Excel print, RSS feed, copy, clipboard, all archive? How do you use that? Is there problem find virtual fund? Let's try it. This is just how archives. I want to go to archives. I found archives once on accident, but classic version feedback, Edgar search tools. XRPN. There we are. Then it takes me right back here. Toolkit. No chickens. You can't. Equity of securities amendments. So yeah, I don't want to get down in the weeds of this again. It was a good episode yesterday, but it was boring because I guess I was doing the same thing I'm doing right now. I had a couple people tune in. They left. I guess. Oops, dang it. I keep hitting the. People really don't like my content for some reason. I get a couple people in and then they leave. Not what they're looking for, I guess. Wonder what it is. I mean, like, I'm probably not going to change because this is mostly for me, but maybe I'll change. What time is it? 9:10. Actually, I got to do something. But I'll keep this going a little bit longer, probably another 20, 30 minutes or so. Um, so yeah, Fortune 1000 companies choose Hedera. Like, that's a fact. Look at this lineup of people that are using Hedera Hashgraph's blockchain. Just look at that lineup. That is insane. And it's a sleeper. And like, this is, or McLaren, come on. McLaren alone would be big news, not to mention everything else. So people are still sleeping on this. Like, all of this is happening live right now. This is happening. And then you go to X and you see all this weird stuff. Like, who is Bitcoin partnering with? Like, you have sovereign wealth funds buying Bitcoin. Okay, they're just going to hold it. And then, then that's speculation. That's speculative. Then it'll grow and appreciate in value. But what does it do? Well, it just sits there. Yeah, well, what companies are going to utilize it? Well, they're just going to hold it. What what is it? What is its function? Well, it just sits there. What? So HBAR, Hedera Hashgraph, secures vital corporate information. It could be used and adopted by hospitals, which that's what I'm betting on. The VA is going to use HBAR, and I'm going to say Casper, but there's no evidence of that yet. I just want that to happen. Casper and HBAR get used in hospitals for PPI, patient protected patient information, or HBI. I can't remember. It's been a while since my master's classes. And PHI, protected health information. I don't remember. So, but I think HBAR is the front runner for that. That's my opinion. A little bit of research I did. We'll see. Um, but it could, like, all your records are consolidated because I was a clerk, a file clerk in breast imaging at University of Michigan Hospital. They are fucking whoops. They are so dang dumb there. Um, Files were lost. It was just like, I'm trying not to remember the whole thing because it was just so stupid. Like, it was actually one of the only times I cried as an adult because I was like I have to be dumb because they can't be this dumb. It has to be me. But it wasn't. I mean, just stacks and stacks and stacks of people's files just everywhere. Like, not in the file room, but like at the other people's, the other, like, I don't know what they were. They weren't nurses, secretaries. There was like 10 secretaries, the boss and me, and I was the only male they ever hired, and I don't think they'll ever hire a male again. Uh, so they just have stacks of files everywhere, like on the floor. They get knocked over, and just paper files everywhere, and they have CDs taped in there of the images. It's like, so in my head, I was like, so they're taking a CD. It's like taking a CD and recording it on an 8 track. Like, that's what we're doing. And nothing was digital. And then we had this thing called Iron Mountain, which was a file storage facility. So we could only have, maybe a couple thousand on site, and the rest gets stored. And if a person has to come in for an emergency, well, there are files in transit. It's not going to even show up in Iron Mountain for a couple days in the file system. And then it's going to take a couple more days to come back. But they have an emergency. Well, you got to just make a pretend file for them. So a lot of my job was making pretend files for clients. Like, I just print out their name and stuff on one piece of paper and put it in a manila envelope. Like, it was completely so stupid at Michigan medicine that it still blows my mind. That's part of the reason I went into my master's in healthcare administration is like, why are these administrators so fucking retarded? I couldn't believe like I went into my master's thinking like it has to be me. Like I have to be missing the point of all this. Like everyone's running around acting like all these stupid things they're doing, all these very poor decisions are normal. And I'm like, well, we could make good decisions if we wanted to. We could do it better. We don't have to have piles of files sitting everywhere, just leaning towers of files like 10 different places around the office. We don't have to do this. We can scan it. And so I went in and like under the impression like I'm missing. So obviously I'm the stupid one and I'm missing why they do it like that because it's like, patient health. This helps the patient out better to do it this stupid. Nope, turns out they're trained to be retarded. Uh, the universities retard people. They slow them down. Like my advisor ended up not talking to me for my last year of my master's. My 300-pound purple haired lesbian instructor, advisor, refused to return my emails or talk to me because of my stance. Because it was 2020, and I was pointing out how corrupt and how all these policies are killing and stealing, killing people and stealing, transferring wealth. And you're not allowed to say that back then because the purple hairs don't you make them uncomfortable and refuse wouldn't like she came into my work when I was working at an antique glass store, refused to make eye contact, talk, anything. I said the last email I sent her, I was like, well, I finished my master's thesis and I published it into a book. Would you like a copy? No answer. These people are nuts. They're bad on purpose. They're destroying Western culture. When I quit the VA because of their DEI policies, I told them that exact thing. I was like, you administrators are ground zero of the rot. They didn't like that, but whatever. Fuck them for being woke. I guess fuck me for being poor. Whatever you do. I'm on that cussing today, man. I'm angry. Bet it's this Canadian, plastic smoke. It smells like plastic outside. It doesn't smell like wood. And it's smoky everywhere, so fuck Canada. I'm trying to stop swearing. Like it's not what I want in my new life because I'm creating a new life. I don't want to drop F bombs everywhere. It's fun. I think it's fun and funny, but like I could do better. Come on. All right, so back to whatever the heck I was doing. I need to find. Okay, so we got all that, like all those companies. How do I find archived filings on SEC website? My keyboard is so old. It's dusty, but it's not old. It's a Corsair. It's pretty cool. All right, let's open a new tab. Let's just type in archived SEC file, National Archives. Ooh. I don't like that. All right, so we're heading off to the National Archives. Nothing. Nothing. Oh, okay, we're heading away from the National Archives. going to Columbia University. Yes. No. Oh, where's the search bar? Ah, right in the middle. I thought that was the picture. Oh no. Ugh. Columbia University is childish, woke bullshit. Look at that. Oh no. Gay. Oh my god. Okay, search. There's filings, submit filings, data research, archives, XRPN. Let's do Edgar. Okay. Okay. Category. Archive. Just archive. So dumb. Because I have to keep it on record. And it's not chronological. Oh. This is all the filing. S4. There's an S4. 713. Found it. Open document. Okay. Well, I found the S4 document. Is it confirmed archive? Yes. Confirmed archive. Okay. And it's too dark in here. Type it on your phone for X kind of makes doing X on a computer feel really alien. Just XRP. You don't have to get crazy. All right, confirmed. That's cool. It's confirmed archive because we look here in the live ones. Oh, cool. I can look it up again. So I'm going to do my S dash. I was going to do 4, but that would make all of them disappear. So only filings live on the SEC website are S1s. The S4s that was filed on the 13th, 4 days ago, amendment number 4, has been archived. It's not live anymore. It's not there. So that's what AI told me is like, so they're preparing a consolidation and they're going to okay, so Evernorth did the S4A. That's for the merger between Evernorth and going into the SPAC. Okay, so that's that. But then, no. 713, because then Evernorth did it again. So they filed a bunch of S4s, which I used to see. Open document, like I clicked. Amendment number 1. But these are all archived, like I was saying. Amendment number 4. Oh, you're in for a boring time. Here we go. Probably like 600 pages of fun. Probably 1,000 pages. I only made it to about 300 pages of amendment number 3. Confirmed archive S4 amendment number 4. It's confirmed archived, so it's not on the live list. That is interesting. I think they're gonna, but that but S4A. Okay, so I'm in over my head. S4A isn't it? I don't understand. This is an S4A. Amendment number 4 is an S4A. I thought there was S4s and then S4As, but nope, they're all S4A. Oh no, there are S4s and S4As. Okay, I'm learning here. I'm learning live. So this is just an S4. What's the date? July 3rd. Okay, here's the date. July 13th, April 7th. This is March 18th, just an S4. And the other two are amendments are, oh, okay, okay. The S4A is an amendment. So they're taking down all the S4As. I got it completely backwards. You're taking down all the S4As, all the S4 amendments, and they're going to take them all down, and they're going to put up a consolidated S4. All right, so all my posts, I had the data right. I just had the S4 and the S4A completely backwards. Oh, well, whatever, I learned. Hooray for CJ. So this is the April 7th S4A, S4 amendment. You. All right, March 18th. Okay, so I'm learning. So they did an S4. That's when they first filed their S4. Yes. Okay. Stone Ridge Trust. I haven't heard of them yet. Lindex. So they filed the S4 in March. They did 1, 2, 3, 4 amendments. Let's open this one too. Let's just have some fun today. We're just having fun. Which one are you? 2. I have 2. 1, 4, 2, 1, 2, 4. All right, let's get 3. That was the April one. April, May. I think it's this one. Three, yes. Okay. So 1, we're looking right here. Amendment number 1, amendment number 2, amendment number 3, amendment number 4. And this is the original one. And no, I should probably put these in their own tabs. It'll probably be moot soon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 were filed in April. No. Yes. That was April 7th. Now, what's this April 28th? All right. Here, we're doing this. Pulling you out. 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 Oh yeah, this is fun live, huh? This is the non-sexy part of research. Organizing your dang tabs. Okay. So I got 4, 3, 2, 1, original S-4, and 2 again. Original, 1, 2 on the 27th. Okay, so I got 2 copies of the same thing on the 27th. It's on the 28th, though. Well, so what is this? On the 7th. Amendment number 1's on April 7th? Yeah. April 7th, April 27th, April. Why do I still have 2 of them? Go away. May, July. So we just skipped June. We don't like June. All right. So I got 5. Because the original S-4 is right there. So now I got 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, never mind. I was confusing myself. All right, so we are set to look at all of this stuff. Okay. So this is the newest one. Okay, so that's good to know. The S4As are the amendments. Yes, I know things now. Let's get a big screen for all the folk. Whoa, slow it down. Let's just look at the table of contents. I'll go through it later. I want to see the outstanding shares, the public share float. Business combination proposal. Let's take a gander. Election, 97% Class A common shares. Public shareholders only own 97% of the Class A common shares. That is weird. That's not what I think. Pubco. I remember them. Company. %28. Following simplified illustrates the ownership structure of Pubco immediately following the consummation, the business combination, assuming no redemptions, including the impact of Pubco warrants. All right, so this is fully diluted into FC 42, public 28%. All right, I don't know enough to understand all this, what it means, but I want the graphs. Let's go back up. Because I just know there's some other numbers that I saw in the previous amendments that I want to see here. Forward-looking statements. Question and answers about the proposals. Let's look at question. Seeing the price of another codex. As a spec shareholder, you are entitled to vote an extraordinary general meeting to approve matters set forth therein. This document serves as a notice of the meeting as a proxy statement of SPAC to solicit proxies to vote on the proposal set forth therein. Prospectus of Pubco to offer Pubco Class A stock to SPAC shareholders in connection with the transaction. SPAC shareholders are being asked to consider and vote upon, among other proposals, a proposal to approve and adopt a business combination agreement and transactions. Yes. SPAC, Pubco, the company, and merger subs and Ripple have entered into. Oh. business combination agreement, the terms of which are described in this proxy statement. A copy of the business combination agreement is attached here to an Annex A. Good. SPAC urges the shareholder to read business combination agreement in its entirety. I think I will. Okay, Ripple is involved. They're a strategic partner. I guess I knew that. I just didn't see it ever in writing because they're on the board. Garlinghouse and forgot the other guy. Dang it, Katz. The business so this is going to be voted on soon. This is what I think is going to be coming in the next week or weeks. The business combination proposal to adopt and approve by ordinary resolution the business combination agreement and the transactions. Let's get it going, maybe. All right, let's do some live social media posting. You guys love it. Boom. Boom. Coming soon to an XRPN shareholder near you. In a world. I want to put. Oh, you're not it. Where'd it go? Oh, all my clicking is for naught. Oh boy. This one. Still want this. Okay, if I keep it down. I'm down a screen. I usually have 3 screens. And I'm down one. And I don't have that computer anymore. That was a beast of a computer. Yeah, that one was amazing. The merger proposal to authorize and approve by special resolution the SPAC merger. See section entitled The Merger Proposal. We're going there next. Domestication proposal to approve by special. They usually say, like, do you want to vote for this? And then suggested by the council is whatever one you should choose, in my opinion. To approve by special resolution the plan of domestication and a change in the corporate structure and domicile of SPAC by transfer by way of continuation of SPAC from an exempted company incorporated and under the laws of the Cayman Islands. That's where they're located now, Cayman Islands, to a corporation incorporated under the laws of the state of Delaware. Yeah, I get it, but damn it. Go to Texas or Wyoming. But they have the best corporate tax laws, I think. Advisor SPC Delaware document proposal 4A. The proposed SPAC board acting pursuant to a resolution adopted to a majority of the directors. Okay. I mean, they have the majority of the shares anyway, so it's just a formality to send out the voting things to the public shareholders. But still cool. For me, it's it's a massive checkpoint, like it's in NASCAR. It's waving the flag on the final lap. Like, this is the final lap. You're getting to vote, and after this, it's going down. It's on. The race is finished. That's what I think of it. The adjournment of the extraordinary general council meeting, or to a later date or dates. Blah blah blah. Pursuant to the business, what will happen to the SPAC shares, Class A, following the SPAC domestication at the SPAC merger effective time as defined below. Ooh, I can't wait to see that. Each issued an outstanding SPAC Class A, including Class A shares held as a result of separation of SPAC units, but including their treasury and property, shall be converted automatically into one share of Pubco Class A stock, following which all such SPAC shall cease to be outstanding and shall automatically be canceled and shall cease to exist. So it's not going to turn into Evernorth, it's going to turn into Pubco. I don't understand it. Holding Pubco immediately after the completion of the transaction. The following table, there's going to be a table, illustrates varying ownership levels in Pubco immediately after completion of the transactions based on varying levels of redemptions by the public shareholders and based on the assumed note. I don't want to redeem. It's got to confirm that. The tables and associated discussions all assume that neither SPAC nor Pubco nor the company enter into any additional financial agreements or the private placement investors fund. Where's the table? Okay. SPAC public shares, no redemptions, 23,000. It turns into Pubco, and I did a little research on there, but I forgot. The obligations of SPAC, a company, Pubco, a merger, subs, and Ripple to consummate and cause to be consummated. The transactions are subject to satisfied or waiver of the following: approval by SPAC shareholders of the condition. They'll get that. The expiration or termination of any applicable waiting period under the HSR Act. I don't know about that. Consummation of the transactions not being prohibited by applicable law. Effectiveness of the registrations. So the S-4 going active, which I think, since all the S-4s, which you see I have all the amendments here and the original S-4, they've been pulled off the active filing and all of them have been archived. I think a new S-4 is coming. That's just my opinion, my limited knowledge, but I think a new S-4 is coming. What are the reasons for the structure and timing of business combination proposal and private placement investments? How many votes do I have at the extraordinary general meeting? Because I am extraordinary. One vote. So one vote per person. To pass each of the business proposal requires an ordinary resolution, being the affirmative vote of at least a simple majority, which it's going to be them. It's going to be yes. Anything the company wants is going to be yes, which is fine. Insider letter. All right, I got to start lifting weights. Get pumped. Ooh, they took out money, or they were supposed to enter it in and didn't. voting in favor of the transactions. PubCo will provide investors with simple, liquid, and transparent exposure to XRP through a publicly listed vehicle. There is a significant and growing market for XRP as a productive Treasury Reserve asset with increasing institutional demand driven by XRP ETFs and corporate treasuries. Consistency with SPAC's formation and stated criteria, attractive market opportunity and strategic partnership. PubCo will be a publicly traded digital asset treasury that will provide investors with regulated. So PubCo is Evernorth. Exposure to XRP and pursue strategies including ecosystem participation such as projects that expand XRP's utility across payments, capital markets, and tokenized assets determined on a case-by-case basis. And yield generation intended to increase shareholder value over time and public communications. PubCo is expected to be the largest public XRP treasury company and a first-of-its-kind institutional vehicle built to accelerate XRP adoption. The SPAC board considered that this position would provide public investors direct exposure to the XRP ecosystem through first-of-its-kind model, and the strategic alignment with ecosystem participants could present preferential opportunities such as early participation in network incentives and validator roles, which the SPAC board believes may strengthen the combined company's market presence and long-term growth prospects. Unlike a passive ETF, PubCo seeks to call it PubCo. I want to call it Evernorth. Seeks to grow shareholder value over time by participating in institutional lending, liquidity provisioning, and DeFi, decentralized finance. Yield opportunities. In addition, XRP presents a compelling opportunity for investors as one of the few digital assets with a recognized regulatory framework in the United States, and a proven use case in powering global payments. Ooh, a proven use case. Roadmap to long-term success. PubCo intends to build one of the largest institutional XRP treasuries in the world. I'm calling it a cosmic black hole that focuses on XRP. And deploy resources towards advancing the XRP ecosystem, including through operating XRP validators. They're going to have dedicated space on the XRP ledger. So even if it gets kind of congested, they have their own lane on the highway. So if it was rush hour traffic, Evernorth's going to have its own lane that it could just veer off and get into. And if people want to get out of traffic, they got to pay to get in Evernorth's lane. That's money. Strengthen the resilience and decentralization of the XRP ledger, leveraging Ripple's RLS-Dewey stablecoin as an on-ramp into XRP's base decentralization, enabling yield opportunities and broader adoption of XRP as collateral. XRP as collateral, high-quality liquid asset, tier 1, I'm saying, and providing liquidity and participating in projects that expand XRP's real-world utility across payments, capital markets, and tokenized assets. This strategy ensures that PubCo is designed not only to accumulate XRP as a reserve asset, but also to act as a long-term catalyst for the adoption and institutionalization. I'm just institutionalization over here of the XRP ledger. These steps position PubCo for long-term success. I know that. Nav, a creative platform architecture. The SPAC board considered the market precedent of digital asset treasury vehicles that can trade at premiums to their net asset value. Yes. Okay, I've been researching this. MNAV. A premium to NAV trading profile could allow PubCo to raise capital above the underlying value of its digital assets. So if one share of Evernorth of PubCo has a exposure to 6 XRP, and XRP, let's just use low numbers, is $100. So that means the one share of Evernorth should be like $600. But since it's going to trade at a premium to MNAV 3 to 5 times, that could be like $18 to $30. Or wait, $1,800 to $3,000, $3,500 per share instead of just the exposure to the underlying asset. It's a multiplier. That's what I'm looking for in this. The MNAV, the multiplying NAV, and providing liquidity and participation in products that expand XRPL's real-world utility across payments, capital markets, and tokenized assets. This strategy ensures that PubCo is designed not only to accumulate XRP as a reserve, so it's going to compound on its compounding, but also to act as a long-term catalyst for the adoption and institutionalization of the XRP ledger. These steps, I just read that one. A premium to NAV trading profile could allow PubCo to raise capital above the underlying value of its digital assets, thereby making subsequent equity issuances creative to existing shareholders. That's dilution, but I think it's going to work out in this case because this is not a business. It's not your regular share. It's a treasury, an active treasury, a DAT, digital asset treasury. The SPAC board believes that PubCo's structure and exposure to XRP position is to achieve similar NAV accretive dynamics, enhancing capital formation flexibility. Up-C structure and in-kind XRP funding. Okay, I haven't heard of this. The SPAC board considered that, as described under the transaction, the U.S. federal income tax considerations related to SPACs. In this proxy statement prospectus, the transaction are structured as an Up-C, pursuant to which PubCo will be a publicly traded corporation and the company will be treated as a partnership for U.S. federal income tax purposes. In this structure, certain investors may satisfy their funding commitments with cash and or XRP, with any XRP contributed in kind to PubCo or the company in exchange for equity interests. Okay, I don't understand. Investors that have purchased company units will be entitled to economic interests in the company that are equivalent to the indirect economic interests that other shareholders will have in the company via their ownership shares of PubCo. However, the company units that are held without any corresponding shares of Class B common stock in PubCo will not entitle their holder to any voting rights in PubCo, and such holder will only be entitled to voting rights in PubCo at the extent any such company units have been converted to shares of Class A stock. I don't know what I have. Is it Class A or Class B? What type of stock? What class? I think they're type A. Equity shares. Should be Class A, right? With voting rights? Class A ordinary shares. All right, I'm Class A. Boom, I'm Class A. Where was I? Blah, 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 blah. I don't understand that. Attractive entry valuation. The SPAC board believes that PubCo provides an attractive entry valuation. Calculated. Oh, yeah, they're talking about MNAV. This is important. To XRP, the SPAC board also considered that PubCo was able to secure over $1 billion of commitments from private placement investors, from institutional, crypto native, and strategic investors to purchase common equity at $10 a share in connection with the negotiation. They bought their own shares. Okay, so they're off the market. That's locked up. Okay, $1 billion of shares at $10. It's 100 million shares. I don't know. Consider that SPAC's public shareholders will be able to exercise redemption rights with respect to their public shares and connected to this, allowing those who do not wish to remain invested in PubCo to exit. So redemption is exiting, just to confirm. To launch with corporate XRP holdings of at least 473 million at closing, comprised of 600,000 XRP that the advanced funding subscribers SBI have agreed to contribute to PubCo closing 473 million. So to the 200,000 XRP that the delayed funding subscribers have agreed to contribute, that is Ripple, and closing pursuant to the delayed funding subscription. 211 million XRP that the sponsor has agreed to contribute to PubCo prior to close it. Maybe Ripple's the sponsor. I don't know. 50 million XRP that the contributor related party entity has agreed to contribute to PubCo closing. 126 million XRP that Ripple contributed to the. Oh, there's Ripple. 126 million with the execution of the business combination agreed pursuant to the 84 million purchase using 214 million in aggregate cash proceeds from the advanced funding subscription. That's they bought it at 253. Yeah, they could have almost triple that, but they will. Don't worry. Don't even worry about XRP Evernorth PubCo. Yep, highly experienced team. Lockup. Oh, here we go. Subject to certain limited and customary exemptions with respect to permanent transfers, certain Ripple affiliates, the sponsor, and certain SPAC insiders will be subject to a 6-month lockup in respect to PubCo A class stock and or PubCo class C stock issued consideration. So at least 6 months, and I think in another one they said it'll ladder out up to a year. So the most important people get unlocked first, but it's 6 months lockup. So they got 6 months at close to make it skyrocket. The SPAC board believes, after a thorough review of other business combination opportunities reasonably available to SPAC, that the proposed business combination represents the best potential business combination for SPAC and the most attractive opportunity for SPAC's management to accelerate its business plan based upon its evaluation and assessment of other potential businesses, blah, blah, blah. In connection with its evaluation of the business of the SPAC board also considers a variety of risks and uncertainties and benefits may not be achieved. The risk of the potential benefit of the business combination may not be fully achieved or may not be achieved within the expected time frame. Minority shareholder position. The SPAC's shareholders will hold a minority economic interest in PubCo after the closing, which will limit their ability to influence governance, strategic decisions. So we all got to agree that we want money. Hopefully we all agree that we want money. Redemption risk. The potential that a significant number of SPAC shareholders elect to redeem their public shares prior to the consummation of the business combination and pursuant to SPAC charter, thereby reducing the amount of cash available. So that gives them their cat. Who will do that? Evil people that don't like money. Unless such condition is closing is wait. Potentially resulting in the inability to consummate the business combination if the available cash in the trust account is less than 5,000,001. Unless such condition to closing is waived by all parties pursuant to the business combination following the consummation of the business, which would adversely affect PubCo or reduce the benefits. Okay, closing conditions. Here we go. The fact that completion of the business combination is conditioned on the satisfaction of certain closing conditions that are not within SPAC control, such as the advanced funding subscribers and delayed funding subscribers having contributed an amount of XRP at least equivalent to the amounts of XRP committed in the advanced funding and delayed funding, respectively, and the shares of PubCo Class A common stock Pubco warrants having been approved for clearing through DTC. I don't know what DTC is. And the DTC, okay. And approved for listing on NASDAQ, the New York Stock Exchange, and other national exchanges reasonably acceptable to Pubco. Texas. No operating history. The risk is no operating history to track. XRP and the volatile price of XRP. Yes. And okay. Listing risk, litigation, fees and expenses. Limited right spec board to change its recommendations, cybersecurity, market and macroeconomic risks, competition risk. Yeah, right. Regulatory and legal opportunities, interest in certain persons, shareholder flexibility in connection with the business conduct of SPACs. Public shareholders had the option to become stockholders of Pubco following the consummation of sell their public shares, redeem their public shares for the redemption price pursuant to the terms. Become stockholders in Pubco. 26 million or approximately 33 for founders. Income tax factor to qualify as a reorganization within the means of assuming the SPAC domestic laws. A U.S. holder who beneficially owns directly or indirectly 10% or more of the total combined voting power of all classes of SPAC common shares entitled to 10% more. Okay, not me. Who on the date of SPAC is not a 10% U.S. shareholder and whose SPAC common shares have a fair market value of $50,000 or more on the date, so generally will recognize gain with respect to its ordinary shares as less than 50,000 on the date of SPAC domesticated will generally will not recognize any gain or loss or include any part of the all earnings and profits amount in income under section blah 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 of the code in connection with the SPAC does not expect to have significant cumulative earnings and profits, if any, on the date of the SPAC domestication. However, the determination of earnings and profits is complex and may be impacted by numerous factors. XRP goes to 100,000. It is possible that the amount of SPAC's cumulative net earnings and profits could be positive through the day. We could have price appreciation before we onboard it and domesticate it. Believes that it is likely classification under PFIC for U.S. federal code tax purposes and SBC were classified as federal income tax purposes. Then, notwithstanding the foregoing discussion of U.S. federal income tax proposal Treasury under code certain if finalized in their current form generally would require U.S. holder to recognize gain on the exchange of SPAC securities of SPAC securities of SPAC Delaware pursuant to SPAC domestication. Any such gain would be taxable income with no corresponding receipt of cash. What if you put it in a Roth? Bam! Slap them Evernorths and Roths. Evernorths and Roths. Trust. With the U.S. federal income tax for business combination. To me, I just did that. Didn't I just did that? Domestication. Okay. It takes disqualification. Below the exchange SPAC security SPAC merger. Taken together with the company merger and certain other transactions are treated as an exchange in which no gain or loss is recognized under section blah 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 blah. Hurry. With respect to SPAC merger, there is no assurance that the IRS will not challenge the qualification of the SPAC merger and exchange subject to this. He's already said that. If any requirement for qualification of an exchange under the code is not met, then the U.S. holder of SPAC securities would recognize gain or loss in the amount equal to the difference, if any, between the fair market value as of closing of the Pubco securities as defined below received by such U.S. holder at the SPAC merger and such the U.S. aggregate tax basis. I don't know. Not my. That's a different language than what I speak. I do not know your words. What happens if I sell my public shares before gross? What happens if SPAC shareholders vote against gross? Do I have to gross? How I vote affect my ability to exercise gross? How do I exercise gross? What are the U.S. federal income tax consequences of exercising my right to gross? What rights do I have as a holder of gross? I don't want warrants. Do I have appraisal rights or dissenters' rights if I eject gross? What happens to the funds deposited in the trust account after the account? Ooh. The public share 20% redemption, blah, blah, blah. What happens if a substantial number of public shareholders vote in favor of the business combination proposal and exercise their redemption? Gross. Don't exercise your redemption rights. Let's ride this shit. What happens to business combination if it's not consummated? Oh, gross. It'll be consummated. It's the future of global finance. It's Evernorth is the Pubco is the future of global finance. Let's go. Currently expected that the transactions will be consummated in the second quarter of 2026. Come on. You released it in the third quarter. Tachyon style? Someone tell Evernorth that they released this S4A number 4 in Q3. Are they expecting to consummate the business combination in the past tachyon style? XRP. What else do I like? I like $XRPN. Hilarious. Why am I so funny? Good Lord, I paid a bunch of bills this morning. I woke up super early on payday just to pay bills because then it'd be done before I, am fully conscious and bills would be paid. Go to this guy. Oh, there it is. Hilarious. Why am I so funny? Someone tell Evernorth that they released this S4A number 4 in Q3. Are they expecting to consummate the business combination in the past tachyon style? It is currently expected that the transactions will be consummated in the second quarter of 2026. Well, it's Q3, so I don't know what your time machine looks like, but maybe that's not the right answer. Coming soon to an Evernorth. Someone tell Evernorth that they released this S4A number 4 in Q3. Are they expecting to consummate the business combination in the past, Tachyon style? Hilarious. I'm the funniest. I'm funnier than all the people. This date depends, among other things, on the approval of the proposals to be put to SPAC shareholders at the extraordinary general meeting and on the timely completion of required regulatory stock exchange processes, SEC, and clearance of the proxy statement prospectus and any related filings. A lapse of U.S. Federal appropriations or similar government shutdowns, including the SEC, could suspend and significantly slow. Oh, are they going to shut it down? OCC is going to cause some chaos today and shut this shit down. Could suspend or significantly slow the acceptance, review, and or clearance of filings, the issuance of SEC comments, or the declaration of effectiveness. I think since they took this S4A number 4 and they took it off the live listings of their filings and threw it into archive, I think that means they're going to file the consolidated S4 with no amendments, and it's going to be the official one, and that's the final lap. General meeting could be adjourned, blah, blah, blah. When and where an extraordinary meeting. There's the extraordinary meeting. Let's go there. Let's go to the general extraordinary meeting. Y'all, does everybody want to go there? Let's go there. Coming soon. Please come back at a later time. Continental stock transfer and trust. Easy online documents. All right, so it's not live yet. Ooh, redacted. Redacted. There is no requirement to attend the extraordinary meeting in person at the physical place in order to SPAC encourage virtual participation. You know I will. Can I attend the extraordinary general meeting in person at the physical place of meeting? It'll be at boop, boop, boop. What do I need to do now? We urge you to read the proxy statement prospectus, including the annexes and the documents referred to herein carefully. How do I vote? If you are a shareholder in SPAC common shares and record date and extraordinary general meeting, you vote in person? Nope. Including virtually at the meeting or by submitting a proxy for the described in further detail below. You may submit your proxy by completion, signing, dating, and returning the enclosed proxy card. I don't have a proxy card. We'll figure it out. The record may submit their proxy over the internet. Internet voting is available 24 hours a day, and all right, I'll figure that out. The shares are in street name, in a stock brokerage account, or by a broker bank or other nominee. You must provide a record holder of your shares. Instructions. Okay, I got it. That's them though, so I got to tell them to vote. Yeah. Shareholder fails to return a proxy card and does not attend the extraordinary meeting. The shareholder shares will not be counted for purposes of determining whether a quorum is present. If a valid quorum is established, any such failure to vote will have no effect on the outcome of any other proposal. Okay, so I don't have to vote. Doesn't do anything. What will happen if I sign or return a proxy card without? What happens if I fail to take action? Okay. If you fail to take any action with respect to and the transactions are approved by shareholders and the transaction, you will become a stockholder and warrant holder of Pubco. Okay. If you fail to take any action with respect to the shortage, not approved, you will remain a shareholder and warrant holder of a SPAC. However, if you fail to vote with respect to the but the transactions are consummated, you will nonetheless be able to elect to have your shares redeemed in a connection. I don't want to redeem. Required steps. Okay. I received more than one set of voting materials. Who will solicit and pay the cost of soliciting proxies? Who will help answer my questions? Cool. That was fun. Good questions. So we know where we're going to vote, where the meeting's going to, the extraordinary meeting's going to be held. They are. Are they expecting to consummate the business combination in the past, tachyon style? Whatever. Awesome. Awesome, you guys. I'm pumped. All right. I'm going to leave this over here. We're having fun. How's this doing? Climbing a little. Climbing a little. Still waiting on the OCC to do whatever it needs to do before Saturday, tomorrow. I'm 60-40 in favor of them just letting the market be uncertain, no guidance, and just a little bit of chaos, a little fog of war. Let everybody maneuver where they need to be in the fog and the smoke. And that's usually what they do, is the most chaotic, most harmful, most traumatic effort, because we live in the demonic scenario. So they're going to try to cause the most trauma, the most just chaos. But hopefully not. Hopefully the good guys are winning. We transfer over to the righteous scenario, where merit-based, like in the demonic scenario, it's DEI and it's all communism and mass murder. In the righteous scenario, it's merit-based and everyone helps each other, gives them a hand up. So hopefully we move over to the good merit-based righteous scenario, which is the only place XRP can succeed. So I think we're going to make it over to the righteous simulation. Maybe they'll both exist, and people that have trust and belief and merit will kind of transfer over into XRP success. The other ones will transfer into, stay in their DEI nightmare. I don't know, but I'm going to refine in the Phoenix fire and try my best every single day. Like right now, I'm going to go lift weights and drink water. Can't go outside because of Canada's bitch ass. Still no cussing, because Canada's DEI neglect. So that's it. I think righteous will win. I think we'll end up in the merit-based reality, because that's what the majority of faith-based individuals are fighting for. Faith always wins over ignorance. Always. All right. Love you, folks. That was it. Evernorth, let's go.